this lecture on the frequently asked questions in the data science with Python. So till now we have covered the contents of the few of the basic things in the Python and in the data science, and then we have also covered how to use Spider to execute a very simple programs and how to define a variable, and then we have also seen actually how to name a variable, the naming conventions we have seen, and what are the different types of data types we have also gone through that, and how normally the conversion happens from one form of data type to the other, and we have also seen how to actually check data type. So all these things we have actually seen in this particular lecture series for a few days, and now we will go through some of the frequently asked questions from the topics that we have covered till now. So the first one is, can we convert an integer into string data type? So the answer is yes, we can convert an integer into a string data type, but the vice versa is not possible. So you cannot convert a string into an integer. So you can see here in the example, the same example I had also executed in the earlier videos. So I have a variable called as 10. Now that is an integer. Now if I give a is equal to str and in the bracket a, then if I check for the then if I tell print a, then it will give me a. But at the same point of time, if I give a variable called as b in which I'm storing a inside the quotes, then it becomes a string. Now a is a string. Why? Because I'm storing it or I'm mentioning that inside two quotes. Okay, so that becomes a string because anything inside a single quote or a double quote is a string. Now if I'm trying to convert that into an integer, it will not happen. Okay, so invalid literal, okay, for integer with base 10. So that's the type of the error it will show. So normally you can convert an integer into a string, but a string to integer is not possible. You have to make a note of this thing. So what is actually an Anaconda distribution? Anaconda is a free and open source distribution of Python and R programming languages. So here basically it's basically a tool wherein which there are different IDEs available which you can use for your data science application. Okay, so now the next question is like, can we use Spider or can we use PyCharm? Okay, it is up to you. You go with PyCharm or you go with Spider, but whenever you are in the beginning of your Python or data science journey, it is better to go with the Spider. And now what is the maximum number of variables that we can delete using the command del? So you can delete n number of variable using the delete command. There is no restriction on that. And in the starting, actually I had mentioned the process of data science and what are the tools used. So in that we had abbreviation called as SAS and SPSS. Now SAS stands for statistical analysis system, and SPSS stands for statistical package for social sciences. Okay, the next one is assignment operator. Normally what happens, if you're giving a single equal to, it means that you are assigning that value to a variable, but if you're giving equals to, equal and equal to, it means that you're checking if the two variables are equal or not. Okay, so that is the meaning. Now this particular question of an assignment operator normally appears in one of the questions in MCQ questions. Okay, the next one is when we are completely crowded in our console where there are lot of results, it becomes difficult to actually check the answer. So in that point of time, you would want to clear your console. So what you can do is you can write a command called as percentage clear, but please make no mistake that you need to use percentage clear with not capital C but with small c. What is version control? Normally version control is a system that records any change or set in files. This is not so important, but just for your knowledge that you should know that it basically records if there is any change in the file or the set of files over a period of time. And difference between Pascal and camel case, this while my last lecture I've given a lot of stress on this particular topic. Okay, I've also explained you with this in the Spider also. So mainly you should know that in Pascal what happens is each word has capitalization. Okay, but whereas in camel we have lower camel case and upper camel case. In lower camel case, what happens is that, okay, it is similar to Pascal, but the first word is not capitalized, whereas in upper camel casing, what happens is it is similar to Pascal, but the first word is capitalized. Okay, so this is the difference between the Pascal and the camel type. Okay, so next is can we save the file in any format? No. Okay, in order, if we need to use it later, we have to save it in a format .p.y. Okay, now what happens is, if you have an Excel sheet where there are string values and you need to convert it into a float, okay, but if you're getting an error, okay, but can we convert string into float? Normally, see, if you have a string called as 2 inside the quotes, that can be converted because 2 is actually a numerical. But if you have any string like A, B, C, D, E, F and all, that cannot be converted into an integer. So you should know the limitations. Normally, another thing is basically how do you assign values if you have a multiple variables. This example also I have explained. What you do is you have x, y, z. So what you can do, x comma y comma z is equal to 20 comma 30 comma 40. So that's how you actually assign the values to multiple variables. So here a small example is shown. Okay, you can see x comma y is equal to 20 comma 30. Okay, how important is precedence in an operation? Now actually precedence is basically the way the each function is executed. Normally how we have Bodmas rule when we used to study mathematics in school or in colleges. Similarly here there is something called as order of precedence. So there are certain functions in the order, okay, so in that particular order only they get executed. Okay, and next one is mainly the difference between the Anaconda software and Spider software. See, here you should note one thing, that Anaconda is like a toolbox. Like how in the toolbox there are different equipments, a hammer is there, tester is there, and you have wire strippers and all, right. Similarly, Anaconda is a toolbox. It provides various IDs. Okay, various IDs. Okay, Spider is one of the IDs, okay, that Anaconda actually provides. And basically, what are the basic data types? You have boolean, integer, complex, float and string. So these are some of the basic data types. So these types of question also you can expect in your MCQ questions. Okay, next one is how do we identify an object? Okay, the command is type, okay, open bracket, object. Object means there you have to write the name of the variable. Okay, and how to verify if the object is of a particular variable? Now what you have to do is you have to first define the variable, like how we have done here, name, like age is equal to 55. Next what you will do is type, open the bracket, age, close the bracket, is integer. If you type, it should give you a true value, true output. Why? Because 55 is an integer. So that's how you check. Now these commands may seem very small, but they are actually very, very important. Okay, and now normally how do you convert and coheres an object into new data type? Okay, so what you can do is, first thing again you have to define the variable. So employee underscore name is having RAM. Okay, now if you want to convert this into any data type, but you should know that can we convert that? Okay, now for example, RAM is a string, but now this cannot be converted into an integer. I clearly told you, if inside that double quotes, if it was 22 23, I could convert it into integer, but RAM I cannot convert it into integer or even for the sake float. So I will take an example of age is equal to 55, and then what I will do is I will type a command age, okay, is equal to integer age, or string str age or float age. Okay, then what will happen is I will again type that is type, open bracket, age, and then press enter. It will give me in answer as integer float, because I am converting it into a float. Now here some MCQ questions. Which of the following variable is a valid variable name? Okay, so for that, if you see that the answer is ram underscore 2, point ram2 will not be there, ram.2 will not be there, 2 ram00 will also be not be there. It is just, okay, it is ram underscore 2. Okay, and how do we give of the below statements which one is a valid statement? So I clearly told that whenever you're giving multiple values for a multiple variable, it should be first variable comma second variable comma third. Okay, and again the value should also be in the similar manner. So m comma n comma q is equal to 3500 comma 3600 comma 3700. So all the others answer are wrong. So moving on to the next question, of the given options here, the question is, which of them is an assignment operator that is used in the Python. So if you can see here, we have various types of operators which have been given here, and the one that is an assignment operator is this equal to sign. Now this sometimes also people will make a mistake with going with this as an assignment operator, but this is an comparison operator. So the correct answer actually is the last option, which is the assignment operator. Now the next one is, which command would you use to find the data type of a variable? That is this one, that is type followed by parentheses. Then next one is, what will be the output of the following statement if they are executed? So if you're given with an output like x is equal to 300, y is equal to 17, and x modulus equal to y, and then print x. Okay, so here you're basically finding the modulus. Okay, so the modulus will be, after finding the modulus, the answer will be 11. That is, print x, the value of x will be 11. So these were some of the frequently asked questions from the topics on operators and on the variables and data types.